Wow, it's been a while. Hey everybody, I must apologize for the wait time between these videos. Sometimes you really just want to make something and the next day or 3 months, you don't. But here we are again, making Organisation XIII boss fights as if they were in a Pokemon game. This time focusing on Larxene. Larxene is a somewhat forgotten member of Organisation XIII, only really having a minor role in the spin-off game she appears in, and a similar minor role in Kingdom Hearts III, which is somehow 5 years old now. She appears mainly in what's known as Castle Oblivion, a castle based on the memories of the main character, taking him through familiar locales in an effort to extract and manipulate his memories to make him work for the organization? I think? Well, the story here will follow that loosely. Thinking the organization is up to more no good, you travel back from Beast Castle to areas you've already cleared before. Having no other leads, it's as good a place to start as any. Returning to the starting area, Twilight Town, you explore the area before shortly running into another hooded figure seemingly beckoning you forward. Before you can reach them, however, they dart off around a corner and disappear. In their wake lays a key in a similar shape to a sunstone. Upon picking up the key, it begins to glow, getting brighter or dimmer depending on where you run. Eventually, in a small alleyway, the key glows the brightest it can and a hidden doorway appears in front of you. You walk through the door to find yourself in a pure white room. There are hardly any decorations or furniture, just some columns in the corners and decorations along the roof. A laugh can be heard from around the room, echoing against the walls before another hooded figure seemingly appears from nowhere, lowering their hood and revealing themselves to be Larxene. She congratulates you on finding your way in, though suspects it was thanks to the assistance of one of their own. In any case, she can't have you messing with what they're trying to achieve here, and quickly readies a Pokeball, beginning the battle. Larxene's arena mechanic will be dubbed Lightning Double, based off her many clone-based attacks in the games. After 2 turns, Larxene's current Pokemon will make a clone of itself, dealing 1.5 times its normal damage, but spread moves like Earthquake and Rock Slide will deal double damage to the Pokemon and cause the clone to disappear. Additionally, while on electric terrain, all of Larxene's Pokemon get a +1 boost to speed. To start off, she leads with Electrode coming in at level 53, with the Aftermath ability holding a Terrain Extender and knowing Electric Terrain naturally. With the Terrain Extender, Electric Terrain will last for 8 turns rather than the usual 5, along with Electro Ball, Light Screen, and the other obvious one, Explosion. As with most trainers, Electrode is the lead setter-upper, meant to get the terrain down with its blazing speed and maybe get a light screen up before going boom, in case you want to just stall out the electric terrain turns. Out next is one not seen very often, Rotom Mow, also at level 53 with the Levitate ability holding leftovers. But fun machine you say, Pokemon with Levitate aren't affected by terrains. Who do you think you are? You come onto my video and try and tell me how to do my thing. With Leaf Storm, Will-O-Wisp, Shadow Ball, and Thunderbolt, it's one of her many covers to ground types, being immune completely with Levitate and having the super effective Leaf Storm to blast those pesky immunities away. Along with getting a speed boost on electric terrain, it'll still outspeed a lot of Pokemon in the game and be decently bulky if you're not prepared with a good fire, ice, or poison type. Third up is Weavile, to break the mono electric team and reference her presence in Frozen World during the events of Kingdom Hearts III. This Weavile is at level 54 with the Pickpocket ability and holding a Focus Sash, with Swords Dance to set up, Ice Punch, Night Slash, and Poison Jab for those pesky fairy types. With the Focus Sash, Weavile can live any attack you throw at it, and with its Pickpocket ability can then steal your held item if it was a contact move, which given Weavile is a fighting move magnet, it's very likely to be. It's also insanely fast already, and with a Swords Dance can deal incredible damage, and that's before it gets a clone. Second to last, and one never seen before on an NPC's team, we have Dracozolt at level 55 and with the Volt Absorb ability holding a Choice Scarf, having Dragon Claw for solid stab, Earthquake for general coverage and a strong non-stab move, Fire Fang for ice types, and the piece de resistance, Bolt Beak. If you're familiar with Gen 8 competitive at all, you'll know the cousin of this move, Fishious Rend, an 85 base power move with the effect that if the user attacks first with it, its power is doubled. That's right, doubled, making it a 170 base power move when Dracozolt goes first. And with the Choice Scarf, along with the speed boost from electric terrain combined with the 50% electric power boost from the terrain, it might do a little bit of damage. Finally, her ace, Morpeko, at level 60, with of course its only ability in Hunger Switch, holding some loaded dice. Knowing Aura Wheel, Psychic Fang for any cheeky fighting types, Protect to stall out a turn and switch to the desired type for Aura Wheel, along with making it easier to get a clone. And lastly, the reasoning for the loaded dice, Bullet Seed. Usually a 25 base power move, it hits 2 to 5 times, making it essentially 50 to 125 base power depending on how lucky you are. But the loaded dice takes luck out of the equation, ensuring Bullet Seed will always land 4 to 5 times, giving Morpeko a surprisingly strong counter to ground types. Larxene can't believe she has been taken down by this pathetic excuse of a trainer before her, screaming in anguish and frustration before opening a dark corridor and being forced to retreat, rather than disappearing into nothing as the other two members of the organization had done, leaving you alone to venture deeper into the castle and uncover what the organization was up to. And that's another one down. Larxene was quite a difficult one to come up with things for her. She doesn't do a terribly large amount in the game, so there isn't really much to draw from. She was another one where I didn't want to go with a generic arena mechanic and just make it so the electric terrain is always up, or her Pokemon's contact moves have a 50% chance to paralyze or something lame like that. I wanted to go with clones because I feel like they're the most iconic part of her, and originally I had the idea of making it so the clones acted like Mega Kangaskhan's ability, Parental Bond, so technically all attacks would go off twice, but the second one would do half damage. But I felt like that was a little too overpowered and instead went for what I had in the final product. As for Pokemon choice, obviously most of her Pokemon would be electric, as she is one of the few members of the organization who have an element tied to their powers that can be brought into Pokemon. Not to worry, there's only another 3 or 4 like that, so other than them, the teams will get a lot more diverse and theme focused rather than type. That being said, I did go for more of a theme with Larxene, that being speed. All of her Pokemon have a respectable speed stat aside from maybe Dracozolt, but I made changes to make it fast. The whole speed being increased in electric terrain was completely for them. Some other options I considered were Arctozolt to again make reference to her time in Frozen World, but I thought it might be a little overkill to have with Weavile on the team as well. Rotom Fridge was also a suggestion made by a friend for the same reason, but I just like the idea of someone using a Rotom Mow, like, ever. And it also helps with her ground weakness, Leaf Storm just being such a better move to threaten with than Blizzard. Blizzard is just such a bad move without Hail, and I'd have to slap Hail on Weavile to set up for Rotom, and just no. I also considered Mightyena. It just kind of seemed to fit the bill of Larxene, but in the end it was just too weak to really be on the team. Stats don't play a big part in my choices for Pokemon, but they do matter a little, and Mightyena, as cool of a Pokemon as it is, just sadly gets stuck with some pretty miserable ones. Finally, Toxicroak was an option pretty early on, referencing how toxic Larxene was as a person, or nobody, willing to stab whoever she has to in the back to get her way. I don't really know why I didn't go for it, other Pokemon just fit better I suppose. I did want to go over her ace really quick because I didn't want to cop out. I didn't want the only girl in the organization, technically, to have the generic cute Pokemon, but Morpeko just really fit the bill. The way it seems cute and harmless but switches to some creature hell-bent on the destruction of all while also being electric dark was just too perfect for someone like Larxene. The stats almost made me think no, but that's why Morpeko is so much higher leveled than even the other members' aces compared to the rest of their team. Anyway, that's all I've got for now. Stay tuned for the next one of these, and don't forget to check out my Twitch page, twitch.tv/funmachine8, where I'll be streaming some Pokemon Nuzlocke related stuff and maybe some Kingdom Hearts challenges if there's enough interest. Leave a like and comment if you like this video enough, it really helps the algorithm and my motivation to make more stuff. With all that said, I will see you guys on the next video.